saw the windsurfers there doing their stuff, and of course you're a big fan of adventure and the water in particular.
Yeah.
Especially, as we said earlier, swimming with sharks.
Yes, it's how I relax. It is genuinely how I relax. I find it really calming.
So do you go into one of those cages?
No,
or?
out and about with them. Out and about with them.
Like they're dolphins?
Up close and personal. Yeah, like they're dolphins. But dolphins with much bigger veneers. So, yeah, they... but I find it... really soothing on the brain because it is the most present you will ever be.
Yeah.
Basically because you've got to have your wits about you, but also because you're in the presence of just incredible nature.
Yeah.
Really beautiful, beautiful animals, incredible things. So, yeah, very happy there.
Well, from sharks to werewolves, that is the title of your new stand-up show.
Yeah.
Tell us the meaning behind that name.
Well, it's about... The show is sort of about containing the animal within. It came out of something a friend of mine said when she was talking about... She was talking about stuff that she has to read on LinkedIn with the job that she does, and somebody had written the quote, "Remember that every day is another opportunity to be a better version of yourself."
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And I thought, well, not for me. Every day is a constant battle to keep in a much worse version from coming out. So that is what the show is about, sort of retaining the werewolf within.
Love
that.
Yeah. There's a lot of silliness in it too, though, as well, which I'm really enjoying. There's a lot of silly routines. So.
Well, you know, you've spoken about sort of the stress and anxiety sometimes that performing gives you, but you're really trying to enjoy this, aren't you?
Yeah. I've really tried to create a show that I love performing and that I'm very animated on stage, so I get inside the routines and I work in pictures, so I try and leave the audience with pictures as well. And, yeah, I went through a phase where I don't know whether it's ever happened to you. I really started to struggle from stage fright and performance anxiety. And I thought, if I don't confront this, you know, what'll happen? I'll have to stop. And I thought, well, I'll just try and create a show that I love performing, that brings out the best in me, and that does have lovely dollops of silliness in there as well that an audience seem to appreciate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, John, with your years of experience, do you ever get nervous stepping out on stage?
Oh, well, of course. Yeah. Most intensely when you're first breaking something in an opening night or a press night or a first preview. By now, I'm blithe about Giant, but for sure, when things started, it's like the first day of school.
Yeah. And it's good to have nerves, and, you know, shows you care. That's what they say, isn't it? It's true.
And you still go up on your lines and have these ghastly moments 6 months into a run, inexplicable. And for the next month, you're absolutely terrified to go out on stage. But it's a very ridiculous thing.
We shouldn't talk too much of this in front of Aya, who's new to this place. She's sitting there.
Petrified.
What's the worst thing that could happen, Aya? You'll be fine.
Not experiencing that right now.
But nerves are good.
Terrible timing, that.
It's good.
We trade in that, of course.
And you've spoken about, you know, in the routine, you talk about midlife crisis, and you openly say that you had a classic.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was absolutely cliched. Yeah, I sort of hit 50 and bought a sports car, and it was. I know I did. It was tragic, John. Actually, I bought two because I looked at the first one and went, "That's silly, Zoe. That'll never make you happy." And I thought, why not? I thought, well, it's the wrong car. So I bought another one, and of course that was never going to make me happy. And it was a cry for help, I think. But it was it produced its own comedy in that it was driving it around. It was so low to the ground that I discovered, you know, in your 50s you might have the money to spend on a sports car, but you haven't got the hips to get in and out of it anymore. So, and I fell out of it once. I fell out of it in the middle of Brighton. Fell out of it.
Wow.
The blood just couldn't get to the lower half of the body. So that's gone.
Right.
Oh, gosh. Well, I thought you absolutely smashed it on SAS Who Dares Wins. But your love of big challenges came as a student, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, just after being a student, my first sort of foray into adventure was early reality TV. And I did the first series of Survivor.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We were saying earlier, we had no idea. Isn't that funny?
I was bored, John. I was bored, and I saw an advert in a newspaper. It was an actual paper advert in a newspaper that was advertising this reality TV show, which was very, you know, new at the time. And I looked at it and I thought, I bet I can get on that.
But look at you now, Zoe.
Yeah.
And the stand-up tour Werewolf continues until the 18th of May. Tickets are on sale. Thank you so much.
Yes, take care.